So there was a lot of back and forth when it came to putting tracks on this 1949 Willys wagon. Those who kind of followed along this whole thing know that I bought this to put tracks on it after I found out that one of my sets of tracks wouldn't fit on my Blazer due to the big locking hub. So this had the axles with the bolt pattern that those tracks would bolt right onto. Run and drive and turn the key, go rig. I thought, cool, that would look awesome on tracks. So I flew to Missouri, I picked this thing up, and I road tripped it 2,000 miles home where it ran flawlessly, drove great, and I thought, man, it would be a shame to put this thing on tracks because, one, those tracks, the ones that use like the snowmobile components to make them, they vibrate the crap out of the rig they're on, and I don't want to vibrate this thing to pieces. Number two, this thing drives so good as like a normal daily driver that I kind of don't want it to be tied up on tracks all winter so that I can't drive it. So I decided not to put tracks on the Willys wagon. We put it up for a vote in one of the polls, and it was actually, it was way more like even split than I thought it would be, but it ended up deciding to not putting tracks on the wagon, and then my vote was also to not put tracks on the wagon, so we're not putting tracks on the wagon. Now I know this thing would look really cool with tracks on it, and so would the old Dodge car here, but these two rigs are such amazing drivers. Both these are daily drivers, easy, that it'd be a shame to tear them up with tracks. And I know a lot of people said, just put the hydro assist on here, that way it's good to go if you want to put tracks on it, and I thought about that, and I decided, no, like it drives and handles and does everything so well as is, I'm not going to change it. Now one thing I did upgrade was the winch setup. I put the Harbor Freight Badlands Apex 12,000 pound winch on here. I run these on a bunch of my vehicles, absolutely love the things. And then we switched it out to the Yankum Groove Fairlead here, so that it gets rid of the hook and all the metal in your system, so that you can have a whole recovery system with no metal involved. So that is a combination I have on so many different vehicles, wherever they all are. Absolutely love that setup. Oh, and if you want one of these Groove Fairleads or the Yankum synthetic line or any of the Yankum gear, you can use my code that's in the description down below, get you 10% off. If we come over here to the Dodge, you can see it is back on tires. I took the mat tracks off the Dodge. No, they're not going on the Blazer. There was so much back and forth among everybody in the comments of that video, the Willys wagon, on what should be on tracks, what worked, what didn't. And the one thing everybody seemed to agree on is that everybody loved the original track Jeep. So I decided to bring back the track Jeep, but a much bigger, more powerful, newer, better version of it. This is a 1998 Jeep Grand Cherokee ZJ, and any of you know what these are, know what these hood vents mean. And that is, this thing has the 5.9 Magnum V8 in it. This is the big power one they only made for a limited edition of the 1998 year. And then instead of the tracks I had on the original Cherokee, we've got the mat tracks on here. We put some hub adapters on to get it to 8 lug, bolted on mat tracks. And this is going to be the main winter tracked recovery rig this year. 1998 ZJ, this thing's in incredible shape, as you can see if I unlock it. We'll start here. Check out this leather interior here. We got some tools and everything to tighten up the lug nuts on the tracks after we run them for a bit. And of course, because it's me and this is Oregon, it needs a new windshield, but we're gonna get that fixed. So this thing is so freaking clean inside. Everything works, power mirrors, seat heaters. It is so freaking nice. There we go. Plenty of room in the back. Like I said, everything's so clean. Even got the spare tire with the original spare tire cover that has all the little cubby pockets in it. Little cubbies on the side here. And because everybody wants to see it, well, I don't know if that's true, but I want to show it. 5.9 V8 in here. This is the biggest motor ever put in any Jeep Wrangler or Cherokee that I know of. Got a few leaves in here, that's fine. So, it's cold and windy out there. I'll tell you my thought process, how this all went down in here. So the Willys, I didn't really want to put Hydro Assist on it. I didn't really want to run it on the track. So I went back to Marketplace, see what else we could find. And I started looking at Cherokees again, Grand Cherokees, the ZJ line, because I really did enjoy the one I had. It worked really well for me, and it's a great platform for the tracks because it's heavy enough and powerful enough to do some pulling and pulling stuck rigs, but it's also light enough to haul around on a trailer easily behind my pickup. Because one thing a lot of you guys don't realize, I don't live anywhere near where I do all these recoveries. The snow recoveries you see me do in the mountains and all that, a minimum, just to the point where we unload and leave from, a minimum of an hour drive each way. A lot of the stuff I do up on Sandium Pass, up on the mountain up there, minimum just to the base of the mountain, hour-and-a-half drive each way. So I have to trailer or haul whatever rig I'm using for snow recovery long distances. Like each recovery is literally hours of hauling. So something lighter, easier to haul, especially in bad weather and snow and ice and all that, is a massive advantage. That's why these tracks, these mat tracks on my Dodge pickup, great setup, pain in the ass to haul because that starts getting really heavy and it's too heavy for my little car trailer. I have to put it on my gooseneck, which then you add a ton of weight with the gooseneck trailer and you're 24,000 pounds going down the road with a pickup in snow and ice, and it's not fun, and it led to me not wanting to do tractor rig recovery. So I went back to looking at the ZJs and I found this one here. It already had Hydro Assist on it. It already had 1-ton steering on it. Already had a shift kit in the transmission, 3-inch spacer lift, a bumper in the front that I can put a receiver mount winch in. It was set up for tracks, as I found out later, because it used to have tracks on it. It was turnkey, bolt the tracks on and go for $3,500. I started thinking, I'd spend $1,500 just to put Hydro Assist on the Willys, when for $3,500 I could have this thing that's turnkey, ready to go, everything done. Absolutely. So I drove to Idaho late last night, picked this thing up, came back today, bolted the tracks on, and it is. I just got to put a receiver winch in the front, throw some gear in it, and this thing can go do recoveries right now. So all that being said, the track Jeep is back, but a bigger, better, more powerful version of it. Now I'm excited to get some snow. That's coming up hopefully in the next week or so. We're supposed to get some good snow. Hopefully this thing goes to work, and we will see you then. Thanks for watching.